is, okay, thanks for recording. I forgot to think of that. The detailed version is the one that you would hand out to the Toastmaster, or depending on how you run your business, if your general evaluator also runs a part of the business, it would also be for the general evaluator. There are a few items that you don't really want to see on the normal agenda, and I'll show you a little bit more on how that looks. That is what an agenda item looks like. And for our specific meeting here, where we select a two-speaker agenda, there are a few items that we do not want to see, or we don't want in our specific meeting. And I selected here call for topics votings and topics evaluations. So we say our club doesn't do that, and now we want to change the agenda and leave that out. On the left side of the screen that you see here is agenda and meeting. The one that is meeting, and by the way, whenever you have an icon in EasySpeak that has a little pencil, that means you can edit. If you click on the meeting one, that is exactly the one that we started off with, where you select what type of meeting, where the venue is and all that, and the agenda is the one that takes you to the back office of the agenda. And the back office of the agenda looks like this. So here we have the two items that we want to remove from our meeting, which is, sorry, oh no, that's not the one. Let me clear that one. The topics evaluation and voting. Those two items we want to delete. And to do that, on the right-hand side, you see these red crosses. You click on the cross. You can unfortunately only do that one by one. And as you do that, you will get to the next screen that asks you if you really want to delete this agenda item. You just say yes, and it will be deleted. Once you've done that, you might want to change other things. And here in our case, I say, okay, we do not want the table topics session in the place where it is right now. We want to move it to a different part of the meeting. Now, in order to do that, we could use that little up or down arrow that you see here and move the item up or down wherever we want it. But that is quite a lengthy process if you want to move it far down, for instance. So what I do in a case like this, I just delete the item and recreate it. But it's up to you, whichever way you want to do that. Now I deleted the table topics, and now I want to recreate it. To recreate an item, we go to the left of the screen, where you see all these ones here. And by clicking on that, it will allow you to add a new item to the agenda on above the one that you selected. So now we want to go and say we want to go after the network break and put our new item, the table topics, after the network break. We have to create a new item, and in the event, we type the name of the item. Sorry. And the role in our case would not be the account. It defaults to the first item in the alphabet, what you have in your roles, and that is in our case here the R counter. So you need to change that to table topics. You can use the drop-down menu and select table topics master. That is the one that would be the role player for this. And you need to leave the repeat item at 0, because table topics master is only once, and it's not repeating like, for example, a evaluator, where you have to evaluate the number 1, evaluate the number 2, or the same with the speakers. At the bottom of the screen here, you can set a duration for that. Then you wouldn't for table topic set green, amber, red, but you want to print the item on the agenda. Now here you have the options with what can go onto the agenda. We change it from no to yes, and detailed agenda, we say we change that to yes as well. We want to see the start time for this item on the agenda. The spacer is something that we leave at no. It would just draw a line after this particular agenda item. I usually do that before a break and after a break so that it is clearly visible on the agenda. And then click on new agenda item at the bottom of the screen to save what you've done. And that is what it would look like. And then you at the top, you can also, if you made a mistake and that is not what you wanted, you can just click here on the return without saving anything. But we did what we said we would do. We used the table topics as the item description, the event description. The table topics master is the one that will do it. We gave it 10 minutes time, and we changed how we want to see it on the agenda. Now we have changed the two-speaker agenda the way we actually want it in future. So what we do, and I'll show you how to save that later, we go now and say we want to change the agenda to a 3-speaker agenda. So we save it first as a 2-speaker agenda, and as I said, I'll show you how to save that. And now we want to add the extra speakers. You see, currently we have 2 speakers, 2 evaluators, which means we don't only have to add the speaker, we have to add the evaluators as well. Now first, we put the item introduce the 3rd evaluator. Now that is an item which is either used for the general evaluator, in case the general evaluator is the one that runs the evaluation session, or the Toastmaster. don't worry about this description, auxiliary general evaluator. That is what is set up in this particular company here in the training. It would usually just be general evaluator. So we select that and we say, now this particular item, we do not want to print on the summary. We also don't want to print the start time because that is not on the summary. We only have a start time on the detailed agenda. That's the one the Toastmaster and the general evaluator in that case would have. And we allow 1 minute for that. Then you click on new agenda item, and the item is there. The next one that we have to add is the evaluator. And the description that you want to use for the evaluator can be whatever you want it to be. Read speech objectives, or you can write introduce next speaker, whatever seems to be right for your club. The role play in that case is the evaluator. And now this is evaluator number 3. So we put a repeat number 3 here. This item will be shown on the summary agenda. So that's the agenda that all the members will have. So we put a yes here, and we put a yes for the start time as well. And we allow that one also 1 minute. That's obviously also up to the club, but that seems, from my experience, a reasonable time for that. But we do not time this, so there's nothing here in the green, red, and amber section, because the timer is not timing that introduction for the evaluator. Once it's done, we click on new agenda item. And now we have to have the next speaker, because we wanted the 3rd speaker as well. For the speaker, we don't put anything in the description in the event name here. We just leave that blank. And we select from the drop-down menu speaker, and it is our speaker number 3. So that is the number we have to put in the repeat box. And although the speaker is timed at this point, we do not have to fill anything here. The moment the speaker selects the project, the system will automatically populate these fields. Let's say the speaker is presenting an icebreaker speech, then the system here will automatically put 4, 5, and 6 minutes, and the duration also at 6 minutes. And obviously, we want all this information to be seen on the agenda. So we make that yes, yes. Then again, need to click on new agenda item to save it, and we go back to the next screen. In the evaluation session, we need to create the evaluator as evaluating the speech and not as introducing. So we need to go to that specific item in the agenda and add another item. And this item now is evaluate speech number 3, or whatever you use as a description in your club. role is the evaluator, and it is again evaluator number 3. But in this case now, we also have the timer. The time for evaluation is 2 to 3 minutes, and this we have to put in manually. Once you put the 2 minutes and 30 seconds, the 3 minutes, and then the duration will populate itself as a 3 minute. If it doesn't, then just pick it from the drop-down menu. And again, we obviously want to see these items on the printed agenda, and we want to see the start time as well. New agenda item, and the item is saved. And now we have it in our back office agenda. You see we have evaluate speech 1, evaluate speech 2, and here's the new item that we added, evaluate speech number 3. Now that we have changed all the items that we wanted to change and add, we can save the agenda. We go down, I'll just go back to that screen before. Here we have the options for agenda creating, saving, or also deleting. I saw in some of the clubs they have like 20 different agendas where most of them are never used. So just do yourself a favor and delete agenda items that are not relevant anymore. From the drop-down menu, you can here select an agenda item. And once that is done, you can save it as it is. And that would be the one that I said before when we made the changes to the 2-speaker agenda and wanted to save it, that in future, if we pick up or select a 2-speaker agenda, that it already has all the changes that we made so far. But for this particular one, we want to create a new agenda item, and we call it 3 speakers. And then we click on New Template, and the item or the agenda is now saved as a new agenda item. If you go, once it's done, it actually takes us back automatically, and you see it gives us the information here, new template, 3 speakers created. Our system here still shows 2-speaker, 1-hour meeting. That was the agenda that we selected originally. We can leave it as it is because it doesn't do anything to the agenda that is coming. That is really just what we had originally picked. What I, however, suggest is change it to the one that we saved now. It is exactly what we have currently, but change the name and say, okay, I want to replace the current agenda with a different one, although it's the same, and select from the drop-down menu the new agenda, 3 speakers that we created, and then click Go. Everything else will look the same. The reason why I'm doing that is if I'm not the only one that works on the agenda, I don't want to confuse people. So let them, when they go in, that they see, okay, that's a 3-speaker agenda, and that's what we're currently working with. There's also an option to go back to the agenda screen. You see where the red big arrow is. And when we click on that one, we go back to the agenda that we see in the front office. You will see that our 3 speakers, the 3rd speaker has been added. The 3rd evaluator has been added. And okay, the table topics was there already because this particular screen does not show us the sequence. Once you want to save what you have done, don't forget, if you have an online meeting or a hybrid meeting, to put your meeting link. It will not allow you, the system will not allow you to really set up the agenda if you don't print the link. And your members can just go to join the meeting if it's an online meeting and click on the link, and you don't have to ask people, have you please got the link for me for the meeting? Then you can go and print your agenda and carry on. To the meeting link, there is information on how to do that in the knowledge base. When you go to help options and search for the knowledge, or click on knowledge base and then type the item that you're looking for. Just as a quick explanation, meeting links usually, no, always have a section that is permanently the same. That is normally stops at a backslash or forward slash, and the rest of the meeting might change. In the control panel under meetings, you can put in that first section as a permanent, and then the rest, if you have, well, whether you have different or always as the same meeting link, doesn't matter. The rest you put in this field that you have here. The text, you can put anything, whatever you want to write. It doesn't do anything to the meeting. And while we're on this particular screen, because I'm not going deeper into this in this session here, word of the day can be added here. And for those that do not know, once you have chosen the word of the day, you can actually click on it and it gives you the full explanation, which can then be copied and pasted in the Zoom meeting in the chat box. So it makes it very easy for the grammarian to do that. And the meeting theme, obviously, you can also put here. Meeting text, you can put some meeting text there, and I advise you to please do not fill this text session. It will just be an endless meeting text. Put some important information there, 1 or 2 sentences. In our club, we only put the meeting link, the ID, and the passcode, and that's it. But that's obviously prerogative of any club. Now, I want to show you how to add a user to the agenda. It seems that there are difficulties, or a lot of people do not really know. First of all, why would I have to add a user from a different club that is not a member in our club to the meeting? Just to let you know, once you added the user, it will be there forever. So you have access to the information of the user. If the user is a Toastmasters member, they will appreciate it highly. I'm trying to visit clubs that are registered on EasySpeak. If I take a role or I want to present a speech at a different club, because then I don't have to worry about adding it to my portfolio in EasySpeak. the club automatically does it. And that is one of the huge advantages of EasySpeak. It really helps you to manage all your activity, personal activity, club activity. So you will be able to get that information at any time. I saw in the group today that someone asked, how can I find that information, where the club members are, on what level they are in the pathways? Well, it's easy in EasySpeak. If everyone would use EasySpeak, you just click on it and you have all the information with really one click. You can see where your members are or where you are yourself. Okay, let's carry on with how to add a user. If it is a user you don't know at all, now you want to make sure, is that user already on EasySpeak or is he not yet on EasySpeak? Once you clicked on add a user to the meeting, by the way, the user is then not only in the meeting, it will be available all the time in your club. You start typing the name here. As you can see, you can also, by the way, although it's not mentioned here, type an email address. The field is not case sensitive in the search function, so you can just type, and I'll show you an example here. I use Lupo and click on search, and once I click on search, it brings up a username. And as you can see, next to the user, there is also a drop-down menu. And I recommend that you look at it and see if there are other users with that name. Because you might have someone where you think, okay, that's the one that I want, but maybe it isn't. So look at it, and the first part of this name here is the EasySpeak username. The EasySpeak username is case sensitive, unlike the information that we put in here. Make a note of the one that you selected, and if you want more information on this particular one, you just say select, and that's the screen that comes up, gives you a little bit of information here, and again you see the username up there, and it defaults to the personal tab, but we want to look at the Toastmasters tab. The Toastmasters tab gives you a bit more information of what is actually of interest to us. It tells you to which club this particular user belongs. In this particular case, Lupo is the IT support for our club, but it would show if he is in a different club. Now, if that is the one that you want, you can just go back to your meeting screen and add the user here. Once you click on add the user, that's a screen that will come up. You've got a choice of, from this drop-down menu here, give a status to the user. Is he a guest who visited the club, or depends on the setup in your control panel? It might be different options, and you can decide on what you want, what status you want to give that one. Or it could even be a brand new member that hasn't been added to your club, so you can do that. You can tell from what day that particular user is associated to your club. It defaults to the meeting date that you chose. And if you know who introduced the user to the club, you can select the drop-down menu and you will get a whole list of, first of all the members and a few other options that you can select. If it is the user that you picked up previously, you can just select the option here, select and submit, and then you can add the user. The screen that pops up then, in that case, will most likely show you all the clubs that the particular user is already linked to. And it has a little warning that says duplicated username. You can ignore that and just click on the connect screen and connect. And the moment that is done, that user is automatically added as a user to your meeting. If that is not the user that you selected, and that particular one is not a user that has been associated with EasySpeak, you need to select this option here. You need to have the full name and you need to have the email. And just on the issue of email, EasySpeak checks the email. If the email already exists, it will give you a warning and says that the email already exists, and you can then check who the email belongs to. Now, for those ones that are new to EasySpeak and register on EasySpeak, and if you have more than one email address, make sure that you always use the one email address. Otherwise, it can happen that you become a duplicated user in EasySpeak, and then it messes up the whole system. It can be merged, so that's possible, but it's always a mission, and if you can avoid it, do that. If you have a business email address and a private email address, I really suggest use the private email address. Business email address, you never know when you change job and then the email address doesn't exist anymore. So rather use a private email address, or if you don't have one, create a Gmail address that you use in future. And you see there's the other option here that says select from a list of previous members or visitors. So that makes it easy. If you click on that, the list comes up and you can click on that particular one and it will be automatically added to this particular meeting as a user. Now, before I finish and open the question and answer session, I see that many people are asking for information, the new people, asking what do I have to do as a Toastmaster, General Evaluator, Table Topics Master, whatever it is. The member and anyone that is registered on EasySpeak can go into the meeting screen and click on the name that you see here in blue. And I use an example by just clicking on grammarian. What comes up the moment you click on that is a full information about the role of the grammarian. And as you can see on top here, there is also a printable version. So once you see that screen, and if you want to share it with someone in your club, let's say there's a new member and you know that member is now taking his first role as a timer, R-counter, grammarian, whatever it is, you just click on that, choose the printable version, save it as a PDF, and then can forward it to that particular member that is going to take the role. That brings me to the end of the session today. I have prepared another session for new members, which we can hopefully run in the next couple of days or early next week. And I would suggest that you get as many members as possible to this session as well. It explains, and there are a few little tips and tricks that they should know. And if they have never ever used EasySpeak, it will show them also how to log in, how to register, and then do whatever needs to be done, select a role or request a speech in EasySpeak. That will make life so much easier for you as VPE or meeting manager. And as I said in the beginning, any questions, any help that you have, you're welcome to contact me via the WhatsApp group or via my email, wally@duck.com. You saw we were in the Mickey Mouse Club, so that's why I've got the Duck email address. And I'm handing over now to Lynette, and let me know what happened. Are there questions?
There have not been any questions in the chat. People have been saying, most people have been saying that they are new to Toastmaster, new to EasySpeak.
Oh, no, I see it's my speakers off.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. It was me. I had to speak off.
Not a problem. Most people who have posted in the chat seem to be relatively new to EasySpeak. So hopefully they've picked this up. We started recording the meeting a little bit late, but we can put the recording into the chat, or perhaps your presentation, Wally, we can put into the chat. So that people can go through that if you're happy to do that. I have a question, and then if there's anyone else who has a question, perhaps they can raise a hand and we can take their question. But my question is, if you are using EasySpeak for your meetings and you have a guest who comes to your meeting, and let's assume that you know you're going to have a guest, would you add them in on EasySpeak, or would you wait until they became a member before you add them to EasySpeak?
I would, if I have the information before the meeting, I would definitely add them to EasySpeak upfront. The reason is twofold. First of all, if they do then pitch at the meeting, they will see their name on the agenda already at the bottom, if it's set up like that in the control panel, which I also recommend that it's done. And secondly, you will have the details then. So if you send invites from within EasySpeak, you can select to send the email and the invite to visitors as well. So you don't really have to worry about looking up email address and who was there. So whenever you have information, I really suggest put the people, add them to the meeting.
Okay, thank you. I see Paul has his hand up. Paul, your question?
Hi, Wally. Thanks for the training. I'm completely new to this, but while I was watching, I registered on the system, and then I tried to add, well, I added the club, Sell the Sizzle, that I'm a member of and VPE for. and it came up with the club name, but it's, I'm asking how long do we wait for the club to be registered? Does it seems to be, maybe it has to go to get reviewed or something. Is that right?
Yes, if it has not been registered on EasySpeak, or if it hasn't been active for a longer period, it will be deregistered. So it can be reactivated. You can do it yourself. Let me just see if I can quickly share
Well, it's a
this.
new club, I think.
Yeah, it's
so
a
it
brand
hasn't been-
new club. Okay.
it hasn't been
make it
EasySpeak before, I don't
to
think.
make it easy to make it easy easy for you, as in EasySpeak, I ask you to just send me the details and I will help you to get it going. It's usually just a day. I will also assist you with uploading the members and that, and I'll tell you how to do that.
Fantastic.
And all I need for that, just for any other one that wants to do that, just download the club roster from Toastmasters International and send it to me in the CSV, download it in the CSV format, and do not manipulate it, because otherwise I cannot upload it. And then I'll help you with that as well. We can then
Lovely.
even afterwards do a little private session and get you going.
Fantastic. Thank you, Volley. I've done that download.
And
Okay,
just on that note, for it seems that there are a lot of really brand new people. Just to make you aware, EasySpeak does not integrate into Toastmasters International. So you must still do whatever you need to do in Toastmasters International, your pathways, and it is not that it automatically goes into EasySpeak or vice versa.
Okay, thank you.
The next person with their hand up is Palesi, VPE Palesi. You can give us your question.
Thank you for the wonderful training. I appreciate it's really opening up to my knowledge, because I'm really new on EasySpeak and I'm already liking it. My quick question, okay, at least I was about to get an answer in the last sentence that Wally just
Have I only lost her or everyone else as well?
No, we're still here.
No, I mean,
No, I've also lost her.
I couldn't.
Palesi, we can't hear you anymore.
Okay, maybe let's just go to the next one. In the meantime, she might have.
I think she might have had bandwidth issue. Happiness, your hand was also up. If you can pick up there, see if Palesi comes back again.
I'm enjoying a glass of red wine in the meantime.
Okay, can you hear me?
We can, yes.
Hi, Lynette and Wally. My name is Happiness from the Universal Speakers. I've got a question. I tried to add a user last week on our meeting, and I got a message that this person is a member of a certain club, but they don't use EasySpeak. They don't use this system, yeah, EasySpeak. So now I need to record my actuals from the meeting last week. I'm unable to add her, so how can I add her?
You can, it doesn't matter if the club isn't active. If that member is registered on EasySpeak as a user, you can just click when that message comes up. There is an option normally that says connect, and then you just connect and you add the user to it. If you really can't come right, you're also welcome to contact me and I can help you with that. So that I know this message is a little bit silly when you add a user, that it says username duplicated or something like that. And you think, oh gosh, now I've done something wrong. And that is the moment where you just click on connect and it's fine. And you can also go to and connect or add the user to the closed meeting. You just reopen the meeting, then add the user and then close it. Because that also helps you that in future you have the history correctly. So you can see all the information and see, okay, that particular user was already at meeting number so-and-so, and maybe even took up a role that, let's say, was a table topic speaker. And so you have that information as well. And that's also one of the wonderful things in EasySpeak, that you really have all the roles that you played and the roles that other people took. You can always see that.
Okay, I will try to add here again, and if I'm not winning, I'll contact you. Thank you.
Perfect.
Only just one thing I want to add, and I don't know if it was just me that needed clarification. When I started with EasySpeak, I thought that a person had to have a profile with each club. And EasySpeak profile belongs to the person. So you will only ever have one profile. It doesn't matter how many clubs you visit or how many clubs you are a member of. You will only ever have one profile, and you can be a member of a multitude of clubs on that same profile. So I don't know if that just needs clarifying for some people. And then I see our next question.
Okay, I am back.
Debbie.
Hi, Lanette.
Can we just take Debbie's question and then we'll take yours, because he's had his hand up for a bit. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Debbie.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. Good evening. I am new to EasySpeak, so maybe I'm asking a obvious question. First question, we created an agenda for the event. Are we limited to a number of, what do you call it? How many events in advance we can create an agenda for? And second question is, does the user add themselves to a role or the VPE add them?
Okay, these are very good questions. First of all, no, let me start with your second question. The user, if it's a registered user, the user can request a speech, and that's also now depending on the setup in the club control panel. My recommendation is to let the meeting manager and the VPE allocate speeches. So they have to request a speech, and then the user, the VPE or meeting manager allocates the speech. But the roles, the user can select him or herself. If you just go and say you want the role, then it will come up. And as the VPE, you will be notified that there is someone, so-and-so user, so-and-so has taken up that role. And also when someone requests a speech, the VPE will be notified that a user so-and-so has requested a speech, and then you can allocate it. That's my recommendation. What was the first question? I forgot that. Did TB?
I think you've answered both these questions, Bolly. So, Palesa, can you're back again? Are you able to ask your question?
Yes, I am back. I apologize. Network failed me when I was speaking. Apologies for that. My question was, I just wanted to confirm, when you're on EasySpeak, I saw Worry trying to search members' progress on EasySpeak. I want confirmation. Does that information come from Toastmaster main website, or does it mean that a member is supposed to update the information on Toastmaster, and then they are also supposed to go to EasySpeak and update their information? that's where I wanted to be clear. Of course, I heard him at some point where he's saying those two sites are completely different sites. But
Yes.
then I'm thinking, does it mean every member needs to be on EasySpeak while they update their progress on Toastmaster? They also have to update the same information on EasySpeak.
Yes.
That's wanted to.
Yes. The reason being, in Toastmasters pathway, for instance, you will see your own information. The history is not really so easy to follow on pathways. When you speak at a different club, you want that recorded, and in EasySpeak you only have the completion of the project. But in EasySpeak you record everything. You record when you did the speech, where you did the speech, and all the speeches. So you know where you are. You can also see where the members of the club are. But yes, you have to do whatever you do in EasySpeak does not translate into Toastmasters pathways automatically. So you still need to get your approval in pathways, you need to get your completion and your training in pathways. So just be aware of that. EasySpeak is really a program, a platform that helps you. You don't need to work with spreadsheets and try to update all the information when someone does something. EasySpeak does that all automatically. Where in Toastmasters, you concentrate on the pathways and you do your pathway projects. And there you, in Toastmasters on the website, you have to manually add your roles. If you were a Toastmaster somewhere, you have to manually add that on EasySpeak if you want it. Does that answer your question?
It does, and thank you very much.
Okay.
Wally, I see Jocelyn has her hand up.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Well, Wally, this one is a very silly question.
No, there are no silly questions.
I just need to find out, is it an application that I can download, or I have to log in online?
You have to log in online. It is not an app.
Okay.
It is an online program that's, yeah, it's not an application.
Okay.
You can,
Understood. Thank you very much.
yeah, you can follow the agenda and you can use it on your mobile app with limited functionality, but yeah, you have to log in.
Are there any other questions? There's no more questions. Oh, there's Abigail. Abigail, I see your hands up.
Hi, everyone. Firstly, I just want to say thank you, Wally. Wally is just an invaluable resource. I mean, I have bothered him so much, and I invite anyone else with questions to also seek his assistance. Don't hold back. He's really helped me. Wally, my question really is the relationship between emails and EasySpeak. Is it possible to send the agenda to everyone? Not at all.
No, you cannot.
Okay.
You cannot send the agenda or attachments on the EasySpeak email function. You know, you got the function that you can send email to the president, to the VPE, or a specific member, and you can send a mass email to every member as well, but you cannot send attachments. And from what I learned is that has got to do with certain security regulations. So you cannot do that. You have to really send the agenda. But if your members do what they should do, that they register themselves on EasySpeak and they log in and they can look at the agenda. They don't need you as a VPE to send the agenda. There is a lot of things that the members ask for that they can do themselves. They can just look there. They can get the meeting link there. They can get the agenda. They can see who is speaking, who is their evaluator. So there is a lot that they can do. There is normally, if it would be the ideal world, you wouldn't need to send out agendas to any members at all.
Thanks, Wally.
Wally, there's a question in the chat from Edith. She says, when we visit other clubs that do not use EasySpeak and we take up roles there, how do we integrate that with our recorded activities?
That is also a good question. There is an option to record anything and everything from outside. The main thing is the speeches. If you now present a speech at a club that is not on EasySpeak, or like I've done, I've presented speeches at completely different clubs, not in Toastmasters, at a Rotary Club, for instance, and then you can record there is an explanation in the help function how to do that. But again, if you need more information, you're welcome to contact me. I can assist. It's too much now to do that here. It's also quite important for new clubs or clubs that are new to EasySpeak. If they want to be updated on the history, on the speeches, then they must, or they can do that. Each member can actually do that. They can just say, I spoke then and then and then, and that's what I did, and that's the project, and that can all be recorded so that your EasySpeak history is really up to date.
Wally, there's a last question in the chat, and then I think maybe we should close out the meeting.
Yeah.
Anna Marie is asking, can an evaluator access the evaluation sheet for the speaker they are evaluating on EasySpeak? I think I know what the answer is, but I'm going to leave it to you.
What's your answer?
My answer is no, can't be done because it's a pathways evaluation sheet.
Yes, yes, that's the pathways evaluation sheet. But the nice thing, if the speaker gives you all the information when they request a speech, it automatically comes up with the pathways and everything. So you just click on the resources in Toastmasters International, type the name of the project, and there you find your evaluation sheet.
Okay,
So no,
and then
it is not, the evaluation sheets are not in EasySpeak.
Then there's another question here about someone who joined late, but they want to know where they can get login details. So I think that would be explained if we upload the presentation onto the WhatsApp, into the WhatsApp chat, or put a link to the presentation into our WhatsApp chat. And then people can contact you that way. And I'm assuming that everybody who's in the meeting is a member of the WhatsApp group. Can you raise your hand, please, if you're not? But I think everybody in the meeting is a member of the WhatsApp group. So we'll put the information in the WhatsApp group. And I will then also, when the recording link is available, I'll put that in the WhatsApp group. There's somebody, I can't pronounce your first name, Richardson. I don't know. Please tell me how to pronounce your first name. Did you put your hand up because you're not on the WhatsApp group?
I'm not. So you asked for persons who are not to indicate by raise of hands. I did.
All right.
I'll let you be added, please.
I will just try and get the link and then I'll post it in this chat quickly.
Thank you.
Okay. Lee, I don't know if there's anything more that you want to discuss while I'm quickly looking for the link.
There is, look, there's so many things that I haven't touched, like
Yeah, well,
this.
I think we've
Well,
done lots already.
Yeah, like what I know for a fact, there are many users of EasySpeak that have been using EasySpeak for a long time. They did not know that you can get all the role information by just clicking on that name. How many admins can be assigned to EasySpeak? That's thank you very much for that question, Ursula. It's you can assign basically as many as you want, but please, please, please do not assign more than 3 as a maximum. I even recommend that the proper access, you can limit the access in EasySpeak in the control panel for different people. The highest access level is the VPE, then a president should probably have a good high access level. And if you have someone that is really knowledgeable, maybe give a full access level to the IT manager or VPM or some, but do not do more than 3 people. There are situations where 5, 6 people have the full access and everyone does something else. And everyone is wondering, why is it changed all of a sudden? Well, it has changed because one of your colleagues has fiddled there. So the best is the less people have full access, the better. The admin access. You need, obviously, you need at least a second person that has the full access level in case you're not available or something happens. And
Okay.
I see
I've posted the link in the chat so that you can join the WhatsApp support group, ask questions, look for help. And in the group description for the WhatsApp support group, you'll find Wally's email address, so you can contact him as well. And I think we can close the meeting now before I fall asleep.
There's one more hand up. I'll just I also battle with the pronunciation of the first name.
I think it's still up, the Richardson lady's hand. I don't know if you've raised it again.
I think it's again or not. No, maybe not.
No, she's taken it down.
Okay, okay. Good. Well, then I hope to see as many people at the members training session, which I think is also very valuable for members of Toastmasters clubs.
Yes, and we can find out when we can do that as soon as possible, clearly. And we will post that information in the WhatsApp group so that you know when the member training is going to be.
Perfect.
Okay, Wally, thank you very much. I am going to close the meeting. Thank you everybody for attending. If you've got questions, put them in the WhatsApp group. Cheers, keep well.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Have a good evening.
Okay. Thanks, Wally. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.